Hey guys, this is Tim from UFO Sightings Footage. Right, today it's Sunday, the 28th of January 2018, and I think today, because it's Sunday, I'm going to take a step back from what I normally do, and I want to do a video about the Large Hadron Collider and what it really is and what it really does. There's a lot of people out there that know everything that's going on there right up to the present, but there's a lot of people out there who need introducing to the Large Hadron Collider, CERN, and there's a lot of people out there that have got bits of information, but they'd like a bigger picture. So this is what I'm going to do. This is from Wikipedia. If you're not one to go to Wikipedia, then just sit back. I'll read it. I'll read a bit to you. You can come back, check it out. But I just want to give you an overall picture of what the Large Hadron Collider does. Right. The Large Hadron Collider, the LHC, is the world's largest and most powerful particle collider, the most complex experimental facility ever built, and the largest single machine in the world. It was built by the European Organisation for Nuclear Research. Put the worlds together, you got CERN. Near enough. CERN, between 1998 and 2018, in collaboration with over 10,000 scientists and engineers from over 100 countries, as well as hundreds of universities and laboratories. It lies in a tunnel 27 kilometres or 17 miles in circumference, as deep as 175 metres, which is 574 foot, so it's pretty far down. It's a fair ways down beneath the France-Switzerland border, near Geneva. Its first research run took place from March 10 to early 2013 at an energy of 3.5 to 4 electron volts TeV per beam, 7 to 8 TeV total, about 4 times the previous world record for a collider. Afterwards, the accelerator was upgraded for 2 years and it was restarted in early 2015 for its second research run, reaching 6.5 TeV per beam, 13 TeV total, the current world record. Which, guys, as you know, this CERN is fraught with conspiracies, superstitions, supposeds. There's been a lot of witch hunts going on. There's been a lot of, some would say, witchcraft as well, just because of the nature of what they're actually doing, peeping into the abyss, smashing particles at near, or some would say, the speed of light. This is obviously going to throw up a hell of a lot of conspiracies, especially when you throw into the mix the satanic rituals, the dimensional portals, the Mandela effects, the pole shifts, you name it. If CERN's got its name to it, there's a conspiracy with it. Trust me. I covered a hell of a lot of them. This channel, go back and check. I will put links to a few of the other videos that we've done on the Large Hadron Collider. Guys, it is absolutely one of the most interesting things, experiments, scientific endeavours this world ever come up with. Just everything about it is massive. Just looking at the eye of the Large Hadron Collider, where they actually do the smashing of the particles, where it takes place, guys, when you take a slice of it and look at it, it looks like an eye. The further you stand back, the more it looks like an eye. And some would say that Stargate was a premonition for it, or it's so uncanny, eerily similar to a Stargate, of how I would think a Stargate would look like based on Stargate, the actual TV show. We all form an opinion of alien, small, massive grey head with big black teardrop eyes. You know, we all have that image of an alien, unless you've actually seen an alien, and then you'll have a different view of what an alien looks like, maybe. But that could be the same type of alien that you saw. But the Large Hadron Collider, when I did a video about CERN and the scientists performing a satanic ritual right on the grounds of CERN, the Large Hadron Collider, they stabbed a woman. The ritual, when it was secretly filmed, all the scientists apparently have been sacked, asked not to come back. It was done right in front of the statue Shiva, the goddess of chaos and destruction, which is basically what they're doing. They're destroying, they're creating chaos on a scale that has not been seen since the Big Bang. How can you open up a reality within a reality? If they're recreating a Big Bang and we came from a Big Bang, therefore they are recreating a reality within this reality. It can't happen. It shouldn't happen. It's like when they change the structure of the atom forever, that is when they created the devil, the chaos, everything. It unleashed so much energy, evil energy on the world, that it was actually seen. There was captured demons coming through. Got a link. I've covered this as well in videos. You can actually see the demons in the images, what they're actually dragging out of these dimensions because of the energy involved. I want to say it's magic. It's not trickery. It's science, but it's straddling magic because it's unseen. What does electricity look like? Exactly. It's like, describe the colour blue. How do you describe the colour blue? I'm not on about describe water or describe the sky. I'm saying describe the colour blue. Exactly. It's hard. So describe electricity. Well, it's evil. Electricity is evil. In this form, pulling it from a different dimension, because we can tame energy on this in this dimension. Therefore, untamed, pure electricity, it's evil. It will kill, maim, destroy, destruct, you name it. Untamed is bad news. Tamed, for light bulbs, gadgets, etc., it can do good, but that's tamed. Untamed is pure evil, and the souls that are trapped within it was actually seen. And guys, it's blooming scary. Anyways, the aim of the LHC is to allow physicists to test the predictions of different theories of particle physics, including measuring the properties of the Higgs boson, which is the God particle, which is they found God, and searching for the large family of new particles predicted by supersymmetric theories. Supersymmetry, you must have heard of it, as well as other unsolved questions of physics. Guys, this is just unbelievably crazy. The Higgs boson. Do you understand? Which is the God particle. And when they predicted it, it was a prediction. People say you'd never find it. How can you find God? And then all of a sudden they freaking found it. They found God. If they found God, they had to find the devil as well, because it goes hand in hand. I'm not just basing it on good and bad, because that's not really how it works. It's more, for there to be order, there has to be chaos, etc. But it only goes so far. It doesn't cover everything, I don't think, that I've looked at anyways. But it's just, why? Yeah, I can understand them wanting to, open up and recreate new and lost particles that was created at the very second the Big Bang was created. These particles came into existence and then they went, or they came into this existence and then they changed. I understand they want to get back and look at exactly how everything formed. I get that. I ain't saying that's a bad thing, but I'm saying doing it, collecting it, storing it, that's a bad thing. That's a bad thing. It's a really, 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 really bad thing. It's called dark matter for a reason. There's not a lot known about it. Just like the Dark Ages, there's not a lot known about it. There's not a lot of history for it. There's not a lot of archaeological evidence that anything actually went on. So it will create conspiracies. The dark matter, is it there? Yes. How much of the collective? Not a lot, but it's enough to create tsunamis, to put wars against, to put armies against each other. It's enough to topple dictators. It's enough to put brother against brother, sister against sister, and you don't even know why you're doing it. It's all the uprisings, the earthquakes, all the bad things that have been happening. Guys, it's no coincidence. Yeah, we might have an alien that might step in and help us one day, or they've already stepped in and helped us, but that's another story. But for this, the collider has 4 crossing points around which are positioned 7 detectors, each designed for certain kinds of research. The LHC primarily collides proton beams, but it can also use beams of heavy ions. Proton lead collisions were performed for short periods in 2013, 2016. Lead collisions took place, that's a lead particle against a lead particle. Collisions took place in 2010, 2011, tsunamis, earthquakes, 2013, uprisings. You get what I'm saying? Since 2010. What happened in between them years, in that 5 years? Some of the worst events that this world has ever seen. In Iceland, the volcanoes, you name it, in Japan, Fukushima, the tsunamis, the other tsunamis. Guys, it is no coincidence. Everybody leading up until 2012 thought that it was going to be the end of the world. It was in every newspaper, it was on every news story, and then the day after it happened, nobody was reporting on it. And I believe that we all died. What happens if everybody dies all at once on a planet because the world blew up? What happens? Who's there to feel it, to sense it, to smell it, to touch it, to experience it? If there's nobody there to experience, what does that create? That creates, I think, a black hole. That's why we see black holes. If you take into account where the black holes are in space, if you think that there was an alien race or there was a race of people or peoples in that space and then all of a sudden they wipe themselves out, if there's nobody else there to see it, to sense it, to feel it, to experience it, what happens? It creates like a conundrum. I don't know, maybe it creates a paradigm, whatever you call it, and it just creates a black hole. It creates a contradiction. If there's nothing to feel it, it just creates a like a blip in the matrix. So it creates a black hole. Because something was there sensing it, feeling it, and if it's no longer there, it'll just suck everything in. Implode. Maybe. I don't know. It's an idea, it's a theory, it could be wrong, it probably is, you know. But who knows? That tree falling in the forest, does it make a noise? Well, yes, of course it does. But the whole point of hearing a noise is to experience it, blah blah blah. Summit is experiencing, but if there's absolutely nothing there, does it make a noise? Well, it depends on your definition, I suppose. But what I do wholeheartedly believe in my heart of hearts that if you create a reality within one reality, imagine if you had a yolk in a syringe, you took an egg and you injected that yolk into another egg, it would not be able to accommodate both. It would push one of them out or it would explode. And I believe that's what happened until when they set it up and recreated the Big Bang. That's what I believe happened. And they pushed us into another dimension. That's why you'll see some video. I thought I was the only one who thought that, and I went on and I typed it into Google, and what came up? Did we all die in 2012? Exactly. If we all die at the same time, did it happen? Crazy, isn't it? It's very crazy. It's in bloody CERN. It's good questions, but it's kind of what happens if an unstoppable force comes up against an immovable object? What happens? I don't know. It's semantics, but you know, if you take the English dictionary, take the words, just jumble them up in a different way, you'll come up with a different phrase. But it could be that, well, actually, you know what? Two, add two is four. It's just words. You jumble them up. You know, you can still make another sentence out of it. So the words are already there. So therefore, the past, the present, and future is in the Bible. I mean, sorry, Bible is in the dictionary. It's in the dictionary. It just takes somebody to put the words into a different, rearrange them into a different order. That is how you will get there. And that is how you will get the future and the past. It's just by mixing up the words. That's why I don't think, in my heart of hearts, I don't think mathematics is the language of the universe. I think it evolves to whatever it is, but I don't think it's maths. You know, I could be wrong. There'll be everybody out there now saying, what? Of course it is. It must be. It has to be. Scientists say it is. Yeah, well, scientists said last week that, you know, some butter was bad for you. Now they're saying butter's good for you. Back in the old days, they said cigarettes, you used to get prescribed that for a cough. Doctors used to prescribe cigarettes for a cough. Now they're saying, no, it's cough's what cause it. Well, you know, one day they'll say one thing, next day they'll say another thing. I understand it's based on the evolving information that they have at the time. I totally and thoroughly get that. But who knows? It's a strange times we are living in, because we are living in the beginnings of the beginning. 2,000 years. We've been able to know what year it is only for the last 2018 years, really. What you think before that? It was the people was walking around saying, "Oh yeah, it's 2 BC now." No, it wasn't, because 2 BC before Christ. No, they wasn't doing that. It's crazy, but they was not doing that. Or 400 years BC, people wasn't walking around saying, "Oh, it's 400 BC now." No, and but anyways, this Large Hadron Collider, I'll just let you know that China is building one even bigger. I think it's 75 miles around. So China, who knows? You know, I say that we're living in the beginning times of technology, and we are. If you're 30 or 40, you will remember the introduction of mobile phones, smartphones, smart TVs, smart washers, all this stuff in your lifetime. This new fascinating technology, this digital age is just coming. And can you see what they're doing now? Could you imagine what they're going to be able to do in 500 years? 5,000 years? This is why I believe in my heart of hearts that this, the Large Hadron Collider, is the precursor to time travel. Because the technology that they're using there is so freaking advanced. It's so unbelievably crazy that it really is not far-fetched to talk about it. Because when scientists turn around and say that anything is possible, how the hell can they rule out time travel? How the hell can they rule out aliens? If on one hand they're saying that anything's possible with science, how can they rule out that? It doesn't make sense. It's contradictory to everything they stand for. Because as a scientist will tell you that anything's possible. So take that for what it is, because it is what it is. Anything's possible. And if enough time, enough people, the right brains, the right time, the right place, it all comes together, you and I know that anything is possible. Think of the words, anything is possible. Look it up in the dictionary, anything is possible. That means anything. That means anything plural. That means everything. I'll go this. The collider has 4 crossing points around which are positioned 7 detectors, each designed for certain kinds of research. The LHC primarily collides proton beams, but it can also use beams of heavy ions. Protons lead collisions were performed for short periods in 2013 and 2016. This is only last year. Lead collisions took place in 2010, 2011, 2013, and 2015, and a short run of xenon collisions took place in 2017. That's just last year. The LHC's computing grid is a world record holder. Data from collisions were produced at an unprecedented rate for the time of first collisions, 10 years of petabytes per year. A major challenge at the time, to be analysed by a grid-based computer network infrastructure connecting 170 computing centres in 42 countries as of 2017. By 2012, the worldwide LHC computing grid was also the world's largest distributed computing grid, comprising of over 170 computing facilities in a worldwide network across 36 countries. Get that in your pipe and smoke it. Now, do you get what I'm saying? Anything's possible? Because it is. Because if they mirror image that over and over and over again, it's going to get bigger, it's going to get better, it's going to get louder. It's just, this is where it comes into the place. This is a perfect example of anything's possible, because if you keep it's like McDonald's. They've got a working model, so it'll mirror image it. And they'll mirror image it again. It's called a chain of shops. If it works, don't break it, replicate it. And on that one, guys, I'll put a link in the description. You can come back, check this out. It is fascinating. Just to break down the words, listen to what you're saying when you're reading it out loud, break it down, understand what the words mean, and you will understand what they're doing. It is so common sense, it puts everything else to shame because it's just so cool. It's a challenge. It's a major challenge, just like it says there. But once you start to understand the basics of it, you'll understand that. Oh, here it is. Atlas, CMS, the LHCb, Alice, Totem, LHCF, and Modo. And there's them. So, yeah, this will tell you all the stuff that you need to know about what it's doing. That is just me talking for 22 minutes about, 500 words? Guys, I could talk forever about this stuff because it is beautiful. It's pure experiments. Whether it's good or bad, that's a totally different question. But one thing it is a total pure experiment. And if you're not, you should be following this pretty close like I do, because I have forgot more about CERN, LHC, than I remember, if that makes sense. Because there's a lot to take in. You need space in your brain to understand it and to store it. And like I say, keep your eyes in the guy. Yeah, keep your eyes in the guys. Keep your eyes in the skies, guys, because they're here. They've been here for a blooming long time, very long time. They love you long time. They will. Peace, guys.